Hi, welcome to my knitting vlog. My name is Jennifer and I live in Melbourne, Australia, and today it is currently gloomy and raining outside, but that's okay because it's perfect knitting weather. So this is my first one and I just wanted to see what it was like to do a little vlog and record some of the things that I've made along the way. I've become a little bit, just like a little bit obsessed. It's kind of like a way of life now with knitting. So I just wanted to share some of the things that I've made and yeah, see how it goes. So episode 1, let's start with socks. Loving making socks. These are actually like one of my favourite pairs so far. I've made a few pairs for my family. Not that many, but I saw the Crazy Sock Lady did like a ribbed one, so I sort of MacGyvered it and tried to make my own little pattern based on that. So the yarn I used was some yarn that I dyed actually in this colour. Didn't turn out exactly as I planned it, but it still turned out pretty good. It's green and it's got like brown, and you can see the original sort of white sort of peeking in through where the dye didn't hold. I used vinegar and Wilton gel food colouring to dye this yarn. I got the yarn from Bendio Woolen Mills and it's quite thick. I feel like it's more of like a sock weight than a fingering weight because I had to go down a few sizes. I feel like this is like almost a child size that I made for my husband. But that's okay. I still use 2.25mm needles and started cuff down, knit 2, purl 2 for the rib, and then knit 3, purl 1 for the ribbing down the front of the toe. I don't have sock blockers. I don't block my socks, and he's already worn this pair once and it's been in the laundry just on like a gentle cycle, so it's a little bit fluffy, but he said it was really warm, and just got like a heel and gusset and a flat, like no purling on the bottom of the foot. And yeah, so that was pretty fun to make. It was so nice to see like the different colours coming out, because I thought it would be a lot brighter. Like when I wound it into a ball, the colours looked a lot brighter, but it came out this nice sort of muted, natural, like it reminds me of like the leaves and you look up and you see like bits of sunlight coming through. And yeah, so that was my first finished object. And the next one is something, making weird noises, that I feel like everyone's made, a ranunculus, my first ranunculus. The yarn I used was, I think it's pronounced Isaya yarn, and it was in a fingering rate. It's alpaca 2. I had to start the neckline like so many times because it was just so small for some reason, so I had to like loosen it up, and I ended up using bigger needles, I think like 7mm needles, so it's quite kind of baggy on me, but it's fine. I just wear something underneath. The yoke is really nice, just being in sort of my wardrobe, so it's a little bit wrinkled. And I've already worn this too. And yeah, so fun to knit. It was like really fast. It was nice to be able to like knit a whole top with only like 100 grams of wool and not have to buy like a whole sweater's quantity worth. And it was, yeah, one of the first tops that I've made for myself in recent months. And yeah, I really liked it. It was really fun, really fast knit, and learned a few techniques as well. I just did sort of a normal long tail cast on because the cast on that it asked for in the pattern I was a little bit intimidated by, so I just did that. I should probably block it at some point. And there are mistakes, but you know, it all adds to the character of the piece, I think. I need to figure out a way, I've still got like one loose end here. I need to figure out a way to figure out like which is the front and the back. Maybe I have to put like a little tag or a button or something on the back so that I know when I wear it. But it was really fun to knit, and definitely going to do more. There are like people that have knit like 7 of these, and it's fun because you get to do it in all different sort of weights of yarn and figure that out. I bought the pattern before she put out the update. I should say that the pattern is by, I think it's Midori, and they sent out an update with different sizes. So this is just the basic sort of original size, which I think is like the 3rd size in the new pattern. But yeah, I think you can just alter it with your gauge and the needle size you use. But yeah, this is one of many Ranunculus tops, I think. But now I've joined the club. I have one of my own, which is nice. I made a little simple knit. I had this yarn in my stash and I wanted to make something for my daughter. So we made her this little, it's like a little pixie hood, and when she wears it, like this little pump sticks up, which is really cute. So I guess I can model it for you. I did the size, I think 3 to 4, the biggest size. It's a Pixie Hat, it's a free pattern. Oh, it's still too small for me, but it's got a scarf around here. And it used 2 balls of the wool, which was Czech Heaton Country Naturals. It's like a wool and acrylic blend. So I used all 2 balls of that. I think I made the hat like a little bit bigger than it should have been in the pattern, and when I tried to join the scarf, it looks like I've got just a little bit of a hole or something here, but I mean, I can just fix it. We'll leave it, probably will leave it. And I wanted the scarf like a little bit thicker. I made the longest length scarf that you could, which is attached to the hood. I wanted to make it a little bit thicker. Ran out of yarn, so I just used an acrylic that I had left over from a blanket in this sort of tanny beigey colour, and I think it goes well with the pink, the flecks of brown that come out in the pink. Not sure, I mean, it looks pretty accurate on the screen. It is a bit of a gloomy day, but I mean, I should be wearing this on gloomy days, and keeps the head nice and warm, and it's fun to play with these, I think, little dangling scarfy bits. And if it slips off her head, we won't lose it because it's still tied onto her neck. So yeah, that was a quick one. I started off using 4.5mm straight needles to do the bonnet, because you do this sort of square part first. And then I realised that I would need longer needles, much longer needles, to do this scarf in one piece. So I had to switch to my circular needles to get all the stitches to fit onto that. But yeah, it was good that I could start on straight needles, because I just went down to the op shop and you can get like knitting needles there for $1 each. So I started with that and then switched to the circulars when I couldn't do that anymore. But I have more knitting needles now, which is always good. And the next piece I just finished today. I haven't blocked it yet, and I think I need to, because I feel like it's a lot smaller than the picture is, but hopefully you can see. Well, I'm just covering my face, which is fine, but hopefully you can see like the frill or edging. No, I definitely need to block it, I think. Yeah, it'll look nicer. This is for my mum, so I'll definitely need to block it before I give it to her, but you can see how it's sort of like a frill edging. How do I get this to focus on? Not my face, but that. Yeah, so this is a shawl. I use Isaiah yarn for this. Nope, yes, I did. But the Highland wool, I believe. And I don't know if it was the right ply. It was like a 3 ply, so like a light fingering. But it just feels smaller than she has in the picture. It's a design, it's called the Ara Shawl by Andrea, Mowry, and I really like her designs. But yeah, this was the first one of hers that I've made. I just feel like it was a lot bigger in the pictures, so maybe it'll stretch out when I block it, and it's a little bit like, I feel like a little bit, it's the same colour as my top, rough, and I'm hoping it'll soften up once I block it out. But I was meant to make this on Mother's Day, which was a few weeks ago, but you know, better late than never. I'll wash this and then we can give that to her when it's done. And it's got these little eyelets in here. I think it'll look really nice once it's blocked out, and I'm not sure if it's meant to lay flat. I feel like it's not really, but yeah, as I said, I think we should block it out and then we'll see how it goes after that. I had it's like the afternoon now, and I had a chocolate bar to try to give me some energy before this. So I was like, I'm just like holding this up, and I did a bit of a workout this morning, so I'm like, my arms are sore. Well, anyway, I think that's it for finished objects. I have one more thing that I want to show you that I'm working on right now. I'm in the middle of it. It is some stash yarn that I have. I got it from the op shop. Also Bendigo woolen mills. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I don't know where the label is anymore, but I feel like it has bamboo in it, bamboo and wool possibly. Anyway, I found a ball of this. It was like a full ball at the op shop, so I weighed it out and it was about 205 grams. And I've had it in my stash for ages, but didn't know. Actually, I started once because I used to crochet more than I knit. I started trying to do like one of those market bags with it, but it just didn't feel right and it wasn't like the right color. I don't know, it was taking a long time. So I frogged that and just left it in my stash, and finally, because we are expecting a baby, I wanted to make like a little sweater. So this is, what is it called? I think it's just called the cable jumper. It's another free pattern that I found in Ravelry, and I wanted to use up all 200 grams, so I have made the body and finished that off. Still got my ends to weave in. It's just a really cute, simple sort of like cable design. So yeah, finished the body and did one sleeve. I've only got this much yarn left, so once I got to the sleeves, I sort of weighed out how many grams I had left. I had about 40 grams, so I was like, okay, I'll just do 20 grams more or less for each sleeve, and if it's shorter, it's shorter. But I do want to use up all the yarn, so I didn't want to make it like a t-shirt or anything. But I won't have enough yarn for the full size jumper, which is fine. Like, I feel like it'd be a nice layering piece anyway. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me. So yeah, a nice little layering piece. One sleeve done. The other sleeve has been started. I'm using 3.5mm needles as per the pattern, and 3mm for the ribbing. The cables, I haven't done many cables, only on like a sock. So I'm not really used to it. I read like this knitting techniques book, and it said to try to keep your gauge looser for the row before and when you're doing the cables, which might help, because I don't know if you can see. I mean, like, far away, I'm not going to redo it or anything, and I'm happy with the way it looks. but you can see that there's like stitches that have sort of stretched out here a little bit during the making of the cables, and I think I just need to loosen up next time I make them. But I think it's a really cute, simple design, and I made it in the size 1, which I feel like is the largest size. I didn't do a gauge swatch, but it doesn't matter because it'll just fit when it fits, sort of a thing. And DK weight yarn, I'm pretty sure, but I feel like it might be a bit thicker again because it looks a bit bigger, and it only needed 150 grams in pattern, but I've obviously added 200. I still wasn't able to finish that, but that's okay. I think it still looks pretty cute with the short sleeves. Something a bit different, something to layer up. Feels like pretty sturdy, stretchy, so like, it's gonna end up in the washing machine. I'm not gonna hand wash this, but it's been a nice knit to do, to use up some yarn so I can buy some more tomorrow, which I'm very much looking forward to. And yeah, I think when this is done, I will cast on another pair of socks. I've got this in front of me. I think I knit like my first pair of socks with these. I should weigh it out and see how much I have left. It was 100 grams, but I'll weigh it out and see. Maybe I can do like a pair of shorty socks for myself, or some toddler socks with the rest, but I do want to use it up. This is just some yarn from Spotlight View, I want to say, just like a self-striping yarn, just like an affordable one. I'm not sure if they still sell it, but it'll be nice to have something to knit on while I look for more yarn to use to do bigger projects like sweaters and lots of baby knitting. Lots of my friends are expecting babies, so that's on the list as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I am looking forward to knitting more, talking about my knits. Let me know what you're working on, if you're working on anything, or crafting on anything, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks, bye.